When people hear the name鹽埕, they are often curious as to whether they really were people here drying salt. Actually, more than 300 years ago, during the time of Koxingya, our ancestors did start to dry salt here to make a living. And then, during the Qing dynasty, business was expanded and the Lainan salt fields became one of the 4 biggest salt fields in Taiwan at the time. That's why the old name for鹽埕district was Lainan, even though the salt fields have long since disappeared. Names like Lainan Street and鹽埕Street still remain as proof of the salt fields of the old days. Salt fields, fish ponds, and marshes are natural scenery familiar to the salt workers of鹽埕for generations, and they haven't really changed that much. However, because the Japanese government had a policy of development, modernizing the railways and construction projects in the harbor area,鹽埕changed from a small village of salt workers to the busy city center of Kaohsiung. But the tides of time keep pushing forward, and although Hamasing was the earliest modernized neighborhood in Kaohsiung, when the Japanese had completed their construction of鹽埕, the important Kaohsiung city government and the Kaohsiung Prefecture Hall were moved from Shoshan and Hamasing to the banks of the Love River. The city center also moved along with it to鹽埕.鹽埕then replaced Hamasing's position as the flourishing business center of Kaohsiung.
Wow, Hamasing老厝真有气派，这间日本人住来起尔吧？小个厝一堆厝咧。
你好，你好，啊！你找厝要租？我遐拄好做一个足水、足俗的厝要出租哦。
真的吗？我拄好想要租一厝来做生意呢。
你一个出外人要做生意，盐埕埔比较适合你哦。遐吼，离港口也近啦。以后一定足发展。
盐埕埔，你是讲Hamasing后边迄块新囤起来的土地吗？
是啊，相信我，它绝对是你上好的选择。
At that time, there was a local named Linja who had great vision. He saw the potential for development in鹽埕and bought some land to build houses close to what is now the intersection of Daren Road and Jianguo 4th Road. As time went by, so luck changed, and what was once a piece of empty land really did become a stretch of prime real estate for doing business. It became more valuable than gold. And not long afterwards, the face of鹽埕was changed beyond recognition. Shops and apartment blocks were built everywhere, and even the first movie theater in the whole of Kaohsiung. Furthermore, tavern bars started to spring up in great number. There was a saying in these parts, if you're looking for female company, come to鹽埕.鹽埕enjoyed its heyday from the end of World War II until the Vietnam War. During the Vietnam War, Kaohsiung was the place designated for American soldiers to take leave. Delicious food and great fun were to be had here. Streets with similar businesses and imported goods stores appeared, and Chishan Road was full of bars frequented by high-spending American soldiers.
美军是7年多拢遐出入口，拢美军啊都袂搭。 你就讲三轮车来载美军，为美军台南载，你同抓迄个规抓都你出来。
It's hard to believe that鹽埕, famous for over a century, is full of such interesting stories. But it doesn't end there. Even today, with its mix of traditional and modern,鹽埕still retains many old buildings and old professions, and many more interesting old stories. You really should try to make the time for a visit to experience the fun and interesting鹽埕for yourself.